Well, you're looking at those. You're looking at a long-standing power differential. The professor will always have more power than a student.
Right.
And on some levels, I think that ethically it would be a dangerous relationship to be involved in for either person. I think that the power differential, even if you talk about office workers, if you talk about a secretary and her boss, there's a power differential, and that's what makes that relationship, in my opinion, that was what makes that relationship, I don't want to say wrong, but let's just say dangerous or unethical. Even if they're not in the class.
One of the issues that was raised was the age differential between a student and professor. What about for TA and student having sex?
Yeah, that's the other problem. I see it not so much as an age problem, because the age issue is going to come up in or outside of college. I mean, at bars, anywhere in society, anywhere in like the world we live in, we can find an 18-year-old who, if she chooses to, she wants to sleep with a much older man. It can happen. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it against the law per se. So I don't think that there should be any stricter standard in one setting like this. The problem I see is the ethical problem, like I said, like he was just explaining, between professor-student. And with the TA student, I see it as the same ethical problem, but just a higher risk because they're such closer in age.
The curious thing is that, prostitution was okay, pornography was okay, but sex between a professor, especially in grad school, and a student he or she is mentoring is not okay. There's a little paradox?
I don't know that I'm saying that it's not okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it creates too many different variables that make it a dangerous relationship.
But isn't going to prostitute a dangerous relationship?
I wouldn't want to be the graduate student that married my advisor, because I wouldn't want to myself think, why was my PhD, why was my dissertation accepted? How did I get it on merit, or did I get it because, same argument you were making. So that's, if I look at it from that side, then I see a problem with it. If I look at it from the professor's side, if I'm the professor and I'm grading my girlfriend's paper, am I going to be able to be completely objective? Or let's say,
I presume there's no real grade. It's just a pass.
Well, but a dissertation still has to be defended, and it still has to be accepted or rejected. And I'm still on that chair. I'm still the chair of that committee. I could question myself.
But there's a panel. I mean, there's more than one person.
But there's a chair, and the chair wields a lot of power.
But the curious thing, to me, it's paradoxical that prostitution was okay, conceptually for majority, that was, for some of the groups thought it's okay that to be legal. It wouldn't be necessarily a choice that you'd want to make, just like in this, not necessarily a choice you want to make to be romantically involved with your advisor. Yet this one's more problematic.
I think because maybe prostitution is an individual act, maybe a specific single act with not necessarily long-term consequences on my entire being. But if I'm trying to get a PhD in something, and my graduate advisor rejects me because I broke up with him a month ago, that has some serious long-term consequences on my job and my psychological well-being and everything that I put into my entire life.
Is that the individual choice level? So is that saying it's not a wise relationship to be in?
Probably.
But should the university
in order to protect themselves, yes. Because say I'm the graduate student and I slack off, I write a horrible master's thesis because I know that the person who's going to be approving it is the person I'm sleeping with. As long as I keep them happy, it doesn't matter what kind of work I do. The university aligns themselves with that relationship. They're now liable.
Or a professor manipulates their graduate students, you have to have a sexual relationship with me or I'm going to fail you or do whatever equivalent terrible thing, it is to you if you do not have this relationship with me. I mean, those rules probably have to exist. It's probably not the wisest one, but I mean, if you want somebody to say, well, if you're in love, you could work it out, well, okay, maybe, yeah, I'll give you that romantic one. Anything's possible if you're really in love, but
I don't know. I think for the first time, the people who were for prostitution and for stripping can actually see themselves in the situation. And that's why there's a more complex, maybe analytical thinking about it, because you can't imagine being a stripper or a prostitute. And you are a TA.